Hey everyone, Reverend Dr. Katie here. This week we are talking about all of the different ways that you know you are ready for spiritual upleveling. I'm going to repeat all of that. This week we are talking about all of the different ways that you know that you're ready for spiritual upleveling, to make a spiritual shift. I have 5 reasons, and we covered reason number 5 in the video yesterday, and today we're covering reason number 4. And that reason is simply this: you're kind of sensing that the people around you aren't really getting you anymore. Deep down, you've probably known this for a really, really long time, but it might be becoming more and more apparent. So they're talking about topics about they may be like dismissing things metaphysical, and they're not getting it, and they're not necessarily attuned to or listening to the levels that you're at, and that your expansion is calling you to deliver to yourself. You know what? That's okay. They don't have to be on the same journey that you're on. The main kind of purpose that this serves, though, is to make you aware that you are ready to seek out new people who can share this experience with you, who can help guide you on your way, who can be there, who can be your peers and help you figure out what it is that is happening to you. And that's the gift, actually, of this uncomfortable feeling of having your friends, family, other circles who aren't really getting you. This is not saying that you have to ditch everyone. It's not saying that you have to abandon them or that you have to leave them all behind. It's simply saying that they are there right now to serve a purpose for you, and that purpose is to have you expand. You don't have to bring them along. Your expansion is your responsibility. Their expansion is their responsibility. And that's a really, really big difference. And in fact, that's one of the common things that I see in people when they're getting ready to expand. They're like, but what about X, Y, or Z? What about this person? What about my parents? What about my best friend? What about my church circle? Even what about my spouse? You know what? You're not actually responsible for them. If they are serving to kind of keep you from your full expansion, then your only responsibility here is to yourself and to expand, to get the spiritual development, because that's the only way that they're actually going to witness how cool and great this is when they see someone that they know, love, and trust actually make the expansion. And when you do that, then they may be able to come along in their own expansion. You're not responsible for it, but actually when you do it and you're not waiting around for permission anymore, that's actually really, really beneficial, not only for them, but for you. All right, so let's get into this a little bit deeper. What are, some of the concrete ways that you may know, like, your circles of friends aren't really getting it? So they may talk really poorly about people who are like woo-woo. They may see a sign that talks about a reader or intuition or something like that. They immediately get really defensive, or they start putting that down, or they use a lot of like us them language. Right? That's a really telltale sign to me. Well, those people, but us. And is that really necessary? Like, we're all following Jesus. They may see if you're asking questions, if you're kind of maybe making little comments here or there about like what you're exploring, they may immediately kind of shut that down. You know what? They're not doing it because they don't love you. They're not doing it because they don't care. They're doing it because they don't get it. And that's the whole point of this reason of how you know you're ready to up level, because you intuitively are getting something that they aren't. This doesn't mean that they're bad people. It means that you're ready to expand. So that's a really, really critical difference. And the main thing is that this is about you, not about them. And so these little moments of contrast that Spirit gives us, that the universe gives us, that God sends our way, serves ultimately to illuminate for us what we're ready for. So if you are finding that, your people around you aren't getting it, you're constantly sort of either keeping quiet, and that is a deathly thing to do. You're constantly kind of squelching down your own voice and you're not able to speak up in the way you want, or you're kind of participating in it, like, oh yeah, I'm one of the gang, I don't have to say anything. Both of those will be a slow soul death for you. They're not tenable. It can't be a long-term solution. The only solution is actually for you to, of course, expand, to up level, to get there on in your way and without anyone else's permission. So if this one is resonating with you, I'd love to hear about it. Kind of make a comment below, and then let's talk. Let's talk about ways that you may be ready to up level, some ways that you can do that really work for you, and that's really important. Ways that are resonant for you, that work with your own soul, your own soul journey, ways that feel safe and supportive, and that's really, really important. And that's what we're here for. That's what this whole group is here for. That's what I'm here for, to help you on that journey. So I hope this makes sense. If it is calling your name, please do just reach out. You can send me a private message. We can talk about some ways to get your soul up leveled to where it deserves to be. And I will see everyone for reason number 3 tomorrow.